Wow, so Yuzu completely folded. They didn't try to fight it, they just rolled over and gave up. They agreed to pay Nintendo $2.4 million, and in my book, that is a huge blow to emulation. But I found another company that Nintendo needs to go after. This company has habitually enabled piracy by selling products that are compatible with Nintendo's own software, and that enable wanton emulation of Nintendo's own games. Not only that, but the simple availability of these products entice users to commit piracy. I mean, we all know that emulation is never acceptable. It says so right here on Nintendo's website. Quote, supporting emulation supports the illegal piracy of our products. So what company would be so brazen as to violate Nintendo's hardline stance against emulation and sell a device that enables end users to emulate Nintendo games? Well, Nintendo, of course. Here I have the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. It is a fun little device to mess around with, and it is complicit in emulation of Nintendo's copyrighted software, and as we all know, it is wrong to emulate Nintendo's games. Now, this is an ARM-powered Linux machine that has about 300 megabytes of free space available, and all you need to do is plug it into your PC, run some software, and copy over your morally obtained ROMs. Now, I say morally obtained because, as we all know, it's always morally acceptable to pirate Nintendo software. It's a form of protest, civil disobedience, if you will. And this isn't an endorsement of copyright infringement, it's just a statement of moral opinion. Anyway, now that we have our morally obtained ROMs, let's get this thing hacked. The first step is to download Hackchi. Launch Hackchi, and then, with this select box, choose the appropriate console. Now go up here to kernel and click install/repair. Then follow the instructions on screen. Now with this thing, you need to flip the power switch on and then hold the reset button and plug it in via USB micro. Now Hackchi is going to do the installation and make it reboot a few times. You can plug it in and monitor it over HDMI while it's doing this. Once it's done, congratulations, you have a hacked classic system. Now we can use add more games to prepare our ROMs, then we can hit this button, synchronize selected games with Mini, and it will copy them over to our classic system. But this isn't just an SNES, though it might look like it. No, you can emulate a whole array of other games. And if you have the right equipment, namely a micro USB on-the-go cable, you can actually enable Wi-Fi, Bluetooth on this thing, and a whole lot more. Bluetooth controllers? Absolutely. Add new games over the Wi-Fi connection? Check. How about adding external storage? Yep, that works too. And what about a full fat install of RetroArch? Of course you can. So thanks to Nintendo, we have a heck of a little emulation device, and I appreciate just how hypocritical they are. Now with the surrender of Yuzu, it might seem like Nintendo has emulation on the back foot. But the problem is, they're going after emulation, and they're claiming that it's about piracy. But it's not about piracy. There is a truth here that nobody is talking about. Nintendo doesn't give a flying about commercial copyright infringement. They don't care. If Nintendo cared about copyright infringement, they would be going after Etsy pages that are selling reproduction carts of out-of-print games. And they're not doing that. And they're not going after the fly-by-night Chinese vendors hawking hard drives and cheap handhelds preloaded with infringing content either. And they're not going after themselves for having weak operational security that allows not only the Switch to be hacked in the first place, but allowed Tears of the Kingdom to be leaked to the public, which is the supposed reason for them attacking Yuzu in the first place. See, Yuzu isn't the problem, Nintendo is. Valve's Gabe Newell said it best: piracy is almost always a service problem. See, as Netflix and Hulu grew and gained more content, torrent sites saw dramatic drops in traffic. But now that everybody and their mother has a streaming service and you can't binge the full series of your favorite shows on a single platform for a reasonable monthly fee, well, torrent sites have seen their traffic skyrocket once again. Piracy is a service problem. The facts are clear here. If Nintendo truly wanted to address the piracy issue as they say that they do, they would be selling their ROMs on PC. But they don't offer their ROMs on PC. And from that, we can deduce that it is not about software piracy. No, the issue for them is control. Nintendo wants control. They want a level of control that the law does not grant them. And they're trying to achieve their ends through lies, intimidation, and frivolous slap lawsuits meant to discourage the development of legitimate, wholly legal open source emulators. This is about Nintendo maintaining a vertical monopoly that they have been told time and time again that they have absolutely no right to have. There have been countless lawsuits in the 80s and 90s, even in the 2000s and the 2010s, where court precedent has been very clear over the decades that they could have learned from. They do not have a right to a closed, insular market, yet they've chosen to ignore all of this. So I'd like to see them tried for antitrust behavior, and now is the time. Nintendo is an evil company, abusing the law to exercise an unwarranted, illegal authority over their games that goes far beyond what copyright or even the DMCA grants them. And look, I'm pissed off because I am a huge Nintendo fan. I have nearly every Nintendo console that they have ever produced, besides one or two. And I have tons of Amiibo and other Nintendo merchandise. And after this, I will never buy another new Nintendo game again. And I will never buy another console of theirs unless it's from the secondhand market. I will never willingly give such a corrupt and wicked company my money ever again. And I will never publish one of my games on their platform either. Nintendo wants a monopoly over their artificial market, and it's time that there's antitrust brought against them.